Hey, this is Eluniar of Argenton US. So I see I see a lot of questions about the Mist of Pandaria beta on the WoW Hunter forums, in-game, from friends. There's just a lot of questions going on about what's going on in Mist of Pandaria beta. So I wanted to do a quick overview of some of the things. Basically, just run down the Hunter class in specific here. So just to start with, I'm actually on the live realm. This is on Argenton US first, just to give people a quick view of how it is now in comparison to how it can be in the beta. So to start with, here's my weapon. I have the melee weapon Kirill and the range weapon Vishenka. The damage is actually pretty different. This is 1972, 3663. So you'll definitely see a rise in range damage. I'm rocking some heroic dragon soul gear here, blah blah blah. My nice heroic Firelands drape. Here's some of the range section. You're going to see again the damage will go up, attack power will go down. I think some of my other secondary stats went down, like haste and crit and whatnot. Hit 8.03, just to kind of give you a reference point for what we're going to be looking at in the beta here. Here's the talent pane that you know so well. Glyphs, right now we have 9 glyphs. Our minors, our primes, and our majors. And basically just how the hunter looks as it's running around. Right now we can have the melee weapon on our back and the ranged weapon out too. So let's go ahead and go over to the beta and see how things have changed. So here we are in the Mist of Pandaria beta. We have the new and improved Eluniar here. Sadly no melee weapon anymore. Now we only have the ranged weapon. I think I left my Kirill in the bank or something, but here is the Vishenka. Range damage went significantly higher. It's now 3944 to 7326 instead of what it previously was.
Well met.
My Kirill here. There we go. So now Kirill also, the melee weapons had their stats increased too. Now it does 5259 to 7890, so much more damage. And I actually picked up a new weapon here from the Temple of Jade Serpent, so here's a look. I'm sure the name is final. That's exactly what you're going to be seeing in live right there. But this one, nice blue gun from one of the first dungeons. So as for our stats, one of the first things that went up here is damage went significantly up, since just our base range damage went up. Our attack power did go down. It went down from about, I think, 20 or 21k down to 16.5, so that went down a bit. Now that we have to worry about expertise, all of our secondary stats kind of decreased a bit because we do have to reforge a lot of our gear to get that expertise now. However, we only need 7.5 expertise to prevent all dodges and parries. I've still got a 0.13% chance to be dodged and parried simply because I'm not raiding right now on the beta, so I'm not going to worry about reforging all that. Hit also I noticed was changed. Now we only need 7.5% hit to be at hit cap. I noticed I've only got a 0.15% chance to be missed as per the character sheet in my character sheet here. So a lot of my gear, like I said, I did have to reforge out of secondary stats to get expertise. So I think that is going to be a significantly different sort of gearing challenge that hunters really haven't faced before. I mean, yeah, we had to worry about hit, but now we have to worry about hit and expertise. Is it necessarily a bad thing? No, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but it will just require a bit more thought and preparation for getting our gearing ready. So anyways, that aside, that's some of the look at the new gear here. Here's the Tome of Clear Mind. Tome of Clear Mind is used for our glyphs. So here's the new glyph panel. As you can see, we only have 6 glyph slots now to worry about. We don't have majors and primes. We only really have the majors, and we still have our minors. So let's start with the minors. We've got Aspect to the Cheetah is a new one. Basically, whenever you're hit, your aspect is canceled, and all your aspects are on a 4-second cooldown instead of dazing you. I think that's going to be really useful. Pack, aspect 15 yards. Feign Death reduces the cooldown by 5 seconds, less proportion. Revive Pet, Scare Beast, same thing we know. Tame Beast is another new one. Reduces the time to complete Tame Beast by 4 seconds. This is going to be an interesting one for the taming challenges if they add more things like the spiders and whatnot. Now for our major glyphs, I've chosen Chimera Shot. No longer reduces the cooldown, now we automatically get 9-second cooldown on Chimera Shot. This increases the healing you receive by an additional 5% of your max health. This is kind of a big deal, because now we're getting 10% of our max health every 9 seconds. And that's going to be really useful for any sort of large-scale AoE damage fights, PvP. I think it's definitely going to have a lot of utility and use behind it. The other one I picked kind of goes hand in hand with that, but also just in general, when your pet is active, all healing done to you and your pet is increased by 10%. So I think that's, again, going to have its use both in PvE and PvP. The last one that I picked was Camouflage. Your Camouflage ability now provides stealth while moving, but your movement speed is reduced by 50%. So Camouflage, in case you haven't heard, you can now use Camouflage in combat. So if cast while in combat, lasts for 6 seconds, otherwise lasts for 1 minute. The reason I picked this glyph is because I think it's going to effectively give us another threat dump, another control utility. It gives us an in-combat complete stealth. So if, for example, we need to worry about effectively dropping some threat on something and if Feign Death is on cooldown, we can just pop Camouflage for 6 seconds. Gives us the ability to, let the mobs go to the tank or whatever. And then, of course, I picked Cheetah, Pack, and Feign Death for my miners. I think those are honestly going to be the best ones, with the exception of, like I said, Taming, or maybe for PvP you might want Revive Pet or Scare Beast. So there's a lot of the new major glyphs here. Some of them decrease movement speed. There don't seem to be any that directly increase like your DPS, though. There don't seem to be a lot of DPS increased ones per se. A lot of utility ones, though. Explosive Trap knocks your enemies back when it explodes. Endless Wrath. This is an interesting one for Beast Mastery Hunters. When Bestial Wrath is active, your pet cannot be killed, but can still be damaged. So I'm not quite. I guess it just means your pet can't die when Bestial Wrath is up. It'll be interesting for PvP especially. Icy Solace is a new one. Your Freezing Trap removes all dots, so it's just like the Sheep Polymorph. Marked for Death is now a glyph, so Arcane Shot, Chimera Shot, Kill Command, Explosive Shot all apply Hunter's Mark. I think it's interesting. I don't know if I'd take it, simply because I do a lot of raiding, and I think for raiding it's not going to be as useful as it may be for PvP. Master's Call, increase the duration by 4 seconds. Mend Pet, it's like the one from the Beast Mastery talents, where it has a chance of removing Curse, Disease, Magic, Poison. Mending, it's going to be another staple one for soloing still. Total amount of healing by your Mend Pet by 60%. Mirrored Blades, it's like the survival talent. Misdirection, same one we know. No Escape. Oh yeah, it's just 6% crit on your trap targets. Speed bonus, Pathfinding, so that's like from the Beast Mastery tree. We can now glyph that. Scatter Shot, Snake Trap. Steady Shot reduces the target's movement speed by 50% when used on a target in 8 yards. So it's kind of like a close quarters slow, I guess, if you want to get someone away from you. I don't know. It sounds like it has way more use in PvP than PvE application. Trank Shot. This is another interesting one. Your Trank Shot no longer costs focus but has a 10-second cooldown. This is kind of a big one because your Trank Shot does cost 20 focus, which is huge out of 100 focus pool. However, giving the 10-second cooldown to it is going to limit its use, especially for PvP. So I think it'll be interesting to see who takes that, who leaves it. Right now, I am not taking it simply because I feel that the other ones provide better benefit, but we'll see. Of course, it's the beta, things are subject to change. So the next thing here, I want to go through our talents. We've got our Marksmanship, our Beast Mastery, and Survival, new talent pane that you get to pick. I've only really done Marksmanship, haven't tried out Beast Mastery and Survival yet, not because I think they're bad or anything, but I just haven't had the time to yet. So it's got the spec, it's got the roll, it's got a nice little blurb about it and all your abilities. Aimed Shot, it's nerfed a little bit, only 90%, plus some damage to it. Careful Aim, same thing that we know. Crit chance by 60% on targets above 90% health. It's like 2 of 2 of the talent. Concussive Barrage, Bombardment, Master Marksman, Chimera Shot, causes weapon damage. Yeah, it looks like the same thing. It does include the 5% on the tooltip from the glyph. So I'm not getting 15%, I'm getting 5 and 5, 10%. Steady shot. Now this is interesting because this one's been changed pretty substantially. Your steady shot, when used twice in a row, you'll get your attack speed bonus like normal. Your steady shot also generates 3 additional focus for 10 seconds. And I haven't done any testing to see as to whether that amount, that 3 extra focus, gets doubled by the 2-piece tier 13 or not, but I think those two are going to interact with each other really well, give you a lot of focus. Even without the tier piece, the 2-piece tier 13, I do think that 3 extra focus will help substantially with focus regen for marksman hunters. Piercing shots, same thing, it's just a bleed, and our wild quiver mastery. So beast mastery talents, we get kill command, same thing like normal. Frenzy, same thing like normal. Beast Cleave. After you multi-shot, your pet's melee attacks also strike other nearby enemy targets for 5 seconds. I think that's going to be really interesting and open up some AoE possibilities for the Beast Mastery Hunters, especially if your pet's melee attacks, especially if your pets are buffed a lot at that point in time with your Bestial Wrath. It could really open up for some big AoE damage. Focus Fire, blah, 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 same thing we know. Bestial Wrath. Same thing. Cobra shots, same thing. Or Cobra strikes. Kindred spirits. Oh, now we're getting Beastmaster hunters are getting 20 extra maximum focus instead of 10. I think on live it's 10 right now. So that's going to be interesting to see if that 10 extra focus really changes anything or not. Invigoration, when your pet deals damage, same thing. Beast Mastery, this one has been changed. You master the art of beast training. Teaching the ability to tame exotic pets reduces the cooldown of your pet's specials by 30%. So I think it combines with longevity. You used to also reduce your pet's special cooldowns and stuff. It's kind of a combination of that in the previous Beast Mastery. You'll notice you don't get the extra pet talents anymore. You get your pet special abilities. Cobra Shot, I noticed that it says it increases the duration of your Serpent Sting by 115 seconds. I'm not sure if that's just a glitch in the tooltip. I'm pretty sure it is, because otherwise that's going to be kind of crazy. You just kind of put up your Serpent Sting and then forget about it for 2 minutes. Master Beast, that's your same mastery. Survival Explosive Shot, blah blah blah, same thing. Lock and Load, same thing. Black Arrow. This has been kind of a big deal on the beta so far. Black Arrow now has a cast time, 2-second based, I think, and it's kind of a big deal because Black Arrow used to be instant cast, and it really kind of changed with the feel of survival by having a cast time on this. So hopefully something has changed, either a faster cast time, or you can cast it while moving, or I don't know, but it's something. I'm sure they're going to do something with it. One interesting thing, though, is Black Arrow deals damage to the target and any other enemy within the path of the Black Arrow. So if you got a bunch of lined up enemies, you fire it at the last one, it will hit all those enemies in the line. I think it will have some interesting application for PvP, maybe mob grinding, not really so much for raiding unless you're in a high AoE situation. Next one, Entrapment, Ice Trap or Snake Trap, blah, same thing we know. 3 focus each time your Serpent Sting deals damage. I think that's going to be an interesting way to help Survival get some extra focus. Trap Mastery, or just the cooldown of all traps, same thing. Cobra Shots, yeah, same as Beast Mastery, and Essence of the Viper increases all magic damage dealt by 13%. It's their same mastery. So anyways, that's interesting, how it shows all the different types of new abilities here. And we looked at glyphs. Let's look at talents here. So the first line is all about disengage, and we got one every 15, 30, 45, blah, blah. I'm sure you've seen this by now. So the first line is all about disengage. Post-haste, narrow escape, and exhilaration. So post-haste, your movement speed is increased by 60% after you disengage. It's the same thing as the Marksman talent. Narrow escape is a new one. When you disengage, you also activate a web trap, which encases all targets in 8 yards in sticky webs, preventing movement for 3 seconds. So I think that'll be, again, really useful for PvP, for AoE mob grinding maybe. I don't see it as really being useful for a lot of raiding, unless, again, there's a lot of ads maybe for, Beth to Lock style and Spiderlings or whatever. Exhilaration. When you disengage, you're instantly healed for 15% of your total health. It used to be when you land, you're healed for 15%. Now it's on disengage. So I think that does bring slightly more application, slightly more viability to it. I still think that post haste is going to be the most all-around general useful one. Exhilaration definitely gives it a run for its money though, and I could see using either of those for most raiding. Silencing Shot, same thing we know. Wyvern Sting, same thing we know. The new one is Binding Shot. And this, if you look at the talent calculator on the Pandaland forums, you'll actually see it as the last row talent, but it was moved up to the second set of talent. So you fire a projectile to an enemy and any other enemies in 5 yards. If the target moves 5 yards away from the arrow, they're stunned for 5 seconds, and will be immune to that effect for 10 more seconds. So it's an interesting way of control. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I might swap back to Silencing Shot, but right now I'm just messing around with it to see how I like it. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Chimera. I think this is going to be an interesting talent. It's no longer just when you're hit, it reduces your abilities. It's just a flat reduction cooldown and disengage by 10, and reduces the cooldown and deterrence by 60. Disengage is 25, and deterrence is 2 minutes, so it basically halves the cooldown of those, and I think that will help bring a lot of utility. Iron Hawk increases ranged attack power by 10% and reduces all damage by 15%. It's no longer all direct damage, it's just all damage by 15%. Right now that's the one I have. It gives the same amount of attack power as Hawk, so you don't have to worry about losing anything. But I do think 15% damage reduction across the board is pretty substantial. Next one is Spirit Bond. Spirit Bond used to be like 1% of your health every 10 seconds, if something ridiculous like that. I never really liked it. Now it's 3% of you and your pet's total health every 2 seconds. So it's been substantially buffed, and I think that also will bring some interesting health regen. Fervor, same thing we know. Readiness, Thrill of the Hunt, basically the same things we know. I've always liked Readiness just because it gives me the extra cooldowns, gives me an extra Chimera shot and kill shot. I think Readiness tends to give you the most control over the benefit of these three. Last line that we're able to get right now. All bring new talents. Murder of Crows. Summons a flock of crows to attack your target for 30 seconds. If used below 20% health, the cooldowns reset. So that it gives you kind of another execute phase spam button, I guess. I'm not quite sure. I haven't gotten to really test it on any sort of target that lives long enough. Call Beast. Right now this one is bugged. It summons a powerful wild animal to assist you for 12 seconds. Each time it deals damage, you'll gain 2 focus. It works, but right now it's bugged, and that you can just spam it over and over and over, and it's ridiculous. I'll show you later on here. Lynx Rush. Your pet rapidly charges from target to target 9 times over 4 seconds, dealing normal damage to each target. It looks kind of cool. I don't know if it's going to be the best one. I'm honestly not sure which of these is going to be the best one DPS-wise, but we'll see. Glaive Toss, not yet implemented. Power Shot. You can see both of those on the Pandaria forums. The new one for this line is Barrage, and I think this is the one I'm going to take. Rapidly fires a spray of shots for 3 seconds. It's channeled 40 focus, dealing a total of 288% weapon damage to the target and an average of 72% weapon damage to each other nearby target. I think that's going to be the one I'm going to take. It sounds like an AoE cooldown, 30-second cooldown. Maybe Power Shot, I'm not quite sure. None of them really kind of jumped out and said, oh my god, this is a cool talent. But, you know, I'll probably play around with all three, see how much I like them. So that should give us a good look at our specs, our talents, our glyphs, and everything here. Some of our new abilities. In case you're wondering what this icon is, it's just multi-shot. So Binding Shot, we throw it on the ground. Here's what it looks like, just a big arrow right now. Not really too fancy. I do want to show you what the Call Beast is right now. Right now it's bugged. And I want to kind of show you how ridiculous it is being spammed over and over again. It's something that will definitely need to be fixed. I mean, it even says it's got a 30-second cooldown, and it just doesn't have the cooldown right now. So it's target. And here's our Call Beasts. And they completely destroy this poor target. And as you see, it gives me focus as well, basically. So I can just call a bunch of pets and then go and just spam over and over. So definitely not going to be something I've seen live. But you know, one beast, I don't know. Like, looking at it right now, it's hitting for 53, 53, 53. Yeah, so it's not incredibly powerful. I guess the focus will be kind of nice. I'm not sure. But if we want to take a look at the other talents here, let me go ahead and swap some of those around. Let's look at Link's Rush here. And let's go to some of these target dummies. Let me find Link's Rush here. Oh yeah, we have active and passive skills. I'm not sure if this is how it's going to be from now on, but right now there's only 2 categories. Here's Link's Rush. It's on a 2-minute cooldown under Yard Rage, and it just makes sure to bounce around between bug enemies, kill that poor little rabbit, and it's interesting. I don't know, again, like I said, I don't know if it's going to be the best. We'll see in time and testing. The last one is Murder of Crows, and let's take a look at what that one does here. Oops. Okay, so Murder of Crows is, here it is. Where are they? There it is, crow, lots of crows. You could say it's a murder of crows. And they'll come down, hitting for decent amount of damage, all combined, honestly. 3755, 3777, yeah. Oh, probably because they're being affected by combat chance. Yeah, so it looks like it scales on your stats, that's cool. The crows have health. I didn't get the target there so you could see, but they have about 28, maybe 29k health here at level 85. So yeah, I mean, oh right, pets. So right now, yeah, that's bugged. But right now, you and your pet, I wanted to show off the camouflage talent with the glyph that makes you stealth while moving. I think like I said, I think it will definitely bring some new utility and application, both to PvE and PvP. Being able to stealth as a hunter will be kind of a big deal. Remember, it only lasts 6 seconds in combat, but I think it will definitely be a useful glyph here. I do think that the hunter looks a little, I don't know, almost naked without like a back weapon though, like or even with a cloak. Let me put the cloak on. Like it doesn't look right to not have a weapon out on your back or anything, or a quiver or anything. It looks a bit empty, and I hope that's something that's either, you know, they add the quiver or they let us show the weapon. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in time. But anyways, this has been kind of just an opening look at hunters in the beta. I know there's been a lot of questions asked, and I hope this answers a lot of them. If you do have any questions, feel free to post a comment on the YouTube here, or you can send me an email. Hit me up in game, either in the beta or on live. Like I said, I'm Eluniar of Argenton US, or I'm Beta Eluniar on Gilneas US PvP server. So feel free to hit me up, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions, talk about whatever. But I will see you guys around.